Come on. All right, welcome to Two Guys Garage. We've got a little treat for you today in the form of a 442. You think you might know what that means?
It started out as one thing, ended up with like 3 or 4 others.
Yeah.
Stick around, we're gonna have fun on our new project, man. If you're sick of chasing high prices for cars, this is a great budget build. You know, man, it's a pretty funny history about the 442.
Yeah, man, it's a moniker that's kind of stuck through the years, but a lot of people get confused as to what it really meant. Back in 1964, sure, it meant 4-speed, 4-barrel, and dual exhaust.
Yeah, and that was cool. And actually had dashes in between here way back when. But that lasted for like a year, because this started out with a 330 cubic inch, and 1 year later it went to a 400.
Right.
So then it meant 400 4-barrel. Dual exhaust. Okay, cool. But that didn't last very long either.
No.
Then it sort of got lost for a while.
Hey, it got confused with its own self. Now, the only real way in these G-bodies to tell if you have a true 442 was the number 8 number on the VIN is always going to be a 9. That's the only way to really tell. If it's not a 9, then you got yourself a clone. So always look on the VIN, look for the 8th number. If it's a 9, then you got yourself a true 442.
Yeah, well, you know, there's good reasons for picking up this in 1986.
Right.
Right? There's good reasons because all the cool stuff that we love, right? The 70 fastback Mustang, the first-gen compressed, those prices are nuts, right? And then you get into some 70s cars and they get kind of big and lethargic. Yeah. But this is a decent, let's say, lightweightish kind of car. It's got the rear-wheel drive, it's got the V8. Right, and there's a lot of nostalgia behind them, right? So this one is going to be a cool project because we're not going to just, you know, clean it up a little bit. We're going to restore this thing and bring a lot of this modern powertrain, and you can see we've already separated and started this process.
All right, now let me just clue you in a little bit. The motor that came into this guy was a 307. In 1986, they actually went to a roller cam. Not a bad upgrade, but it still only put 170 horsepower down and 250 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah. And let's be honest, that couldn't pull a greasy string out of a kitten's mouth. I know. So here we go.
Yeah.
We now have you an LS3.
That's right, not a 2, not a 1,
nope.
A 3.
Yep, straight boss status right here.
Yeah, now these things, right from the factory, cast iron exhaust manifolds, a whole bit, 430 horsepower. So great starting point versus the 170. We put some headers on, a few other goodies, just gonna keep ratcheting up, make this sucker fly. So we've got a few things we're gonna do. Let's grab some tools, some parts, start the process, getting this thing married together.
Awesome. All right, man, working on our LS3 for our G-body motor swap. Now again, 170 horsepower, 250 foot-pounds of torque. Thing came out of the hole like a herd of turtles. But we have to do a couple things with this LS3 in order to make it fit into that G-body.
Yeah, anytime you're doing a powertrain swap, you got a couple things to fight, unless you can get parts right off the shelf. Motor mounts, oil pans to clear things, sometimes your Fiat, right? But thanks to Holly, right?
Yeah.
Bolt-in solution, which is huge. Now check out where this guy goes, right? Look at the bump outs on the bottom of that thing. This one is cleared to fit right down in there. So this one's gonna be simple. We can't bolt it on yet because we've got to check out you know, the new pickup tube location.
And another thing I noticed, it comes with all the OE gaskets, everything you need, man. Nice and done in this kit. And again, like you said, that pickup tube is gonna change just a little bit. Calm down there, big shifter.
Sorry, I was getting excited.
All right, you see the pickup is gonna move back just a little bit for that clearance.
Oh, I need to get bigger ones. All right. Line it up nicely. Now it's cool, you can get, you know, sort of the cast satin there, you can get polished, and you can get sort of a ceramic black, which looks pretty sweet. And the only other thing you want to make sure, you know, you got all your little fittings and stuff in there, is this surface now mates to the trans on the new engine, so you want all this rear face of block to line up. Just throw a straight edge on it before you lock it down, and then you're good.
Yeah, and another great thing about this Holley pan, it maintains all the recommended oil capacity of the stock pan. So that's a bonus itself.
All right, we're gonna get this all zipped down and move on to the next project. Let's take a break.
When doing a brake job, it's important to keep the many brake surfaces and components clean. First step, grab a can of CRC Brake Clean brake parts cleaner. The chlorinated formula in the red can is the strongest available to remove brake dust, road grime, and grease. Use CRC Brake Clean on the caliper assembly and bolts, and wipe with a clean rag. Spray Brake Clean on the new rotor before you install to get rid of the protective oil used in shipping. CRC offers Brake Clean in 6 different formulas to meet any VOC level requirements for any different state. This tip is brought to you by CRC Industries, makers of Brake Clean, the #1 brake parts cleaner.
Hey, welcome back. Now we've got our G-Body 442 in 1986. Now, don't worry about this. This is going to look good someday,
Yeah,
right?
right?
We're starting right down here on the shiny frame with our 430 horse LS motor. So we're going to do a conversion. So that means a lot of different stuff is going to have to happen to get the package, right? We got the oil pan in from Holly, but there's a lot of other things you got to fight, like headers.
Dude, now typically headers, the exhaust, if you will, the routing, the tolerances, making sure all the clearances are right for, say, the starter, transmission mount, and so forth, that is such a headache for a lot of people. Well, Holly teamed up with Hooker Headers and talk about a cohesive package. Everything from the headers itself, right, straight to the motor mounts and the trans cross member.
Yeah, the entire package comes together, so you're not fighting any of it, right? Now look at these things, man. To get full-length headers for a G-Body, cool. To get full-length headers for an LS and a G-Body, double cool.
Awesome, right?
Yeah, so these mounts, are gonna bolt to the side of the block. So we're gonna start stripping some stuff down, and if there's anybody that's had to make a set of headers to fit in a tight package.
My man.
Man, so I think with a couple of tools, we're gonna start stripping this guy off. We'll probably put the motor mounts on and work our way back up to the headers.
Okay, got the factory exhaust manifolds off. Easy pickings when it comes to putting on our new motor mounts. Crazy that you can get motor mounts for an LS in a G-Body. That means they make them for just about everything. From 3/8-inch hot rolled steel, they're sturdy, they're strong, and that's what we like.
Yeah, the other cool thing too is keeps all your driveline angles right, so you're not gonna have any kind of shutter shaker or issues down, the backside of this thing. All right, with the motor mounts on, it's time for some headers, but we're gonna make a quick stop in the meantime and do a little stud kit from ARP.
Oh, yeah.
So Willie's got just about all of them strung in there.
Just know about a stud kit, Kevin.
This is for guys like us. Now, the great thing about a stud, right? So you're not wrenching a bolt in, especially in this hot aluminum that's getting a lot of abuse from heat. So you're not putting a lot of damage on the threads, wrenching it out. This is real light loaded, so you just torque it really light. Then your nut rides on the outside, so the stud is carrying all the abuse. So, all that thermal expansion and contraction, taking them on and off, right? Everything happens right there on this hardened stud instead of that soft aluminum.
And you don't want these guys backing out, so always smart to put a little thread lock on those just before you bolt them in. All right, so now check out this header we got. And again, Hooker and Holly really teamed up to make an awesome cohesive package here. And man, you could tell right out of the gate how nice this header is. Look how thick the flange is, along with 1 7/8-inch primaries. Nice piece right here.
Yeah, we're dumping out to a 3-inch collector on the backside, so obviously this thing's gonna flow a lot, pick up a lot of horsepower on this thing, and they're gonna be durable as well. They got the ceramic coating on them, they're gonna look sharp.
Just tighten up the rest of our header studs on this side. My man Kevin is gonna dress up that side. It won't be too long before we start mating up the transmission on the back of this LS3 to drop it in our G-Body.
Oh yeah.
Whew, it's just crazy. We talk about braking systems a lot around here, but that's because it's so important to the safety and performance of you and your vehicle. Now look, if you're experiencing a lot of noise or vibration, you need to stop, inspect your rotors and pads for wear and a lot of heat damage. And a lot of times brake noise can be attributed to lightweight rotors, not really designed to withstand the heat and heat changes associated with today's braking systems. Even extreme dusting of your wheels can be a result of inferior materials, made with a lot of carbon in there as well. well. Now look, you want your rotors to have the correct weight and design for your vehicle. That's why we want to use a quality OE fit like Wagner premium rotors. Now these rotors are made with high tolerances, so they're going to be less susceptible to, say, thickness variation and lateral runout. Wagner uses an E-shield coating. That's going to prevent rust as well as stopping salt, dirt, and other debris from really corroding your rotors. Now these rotors have a turned smooth finish, so they need less time to break in, and they're precision cut to prevent improper balance issues. Now their unique vane, which is this right here, this design gives you better and more effective cooling and stopping power. Plus the rotors come in a vapor corrosion inhibitor bag, so check this out. Pretty cool, right? That way they're ready to install immediately. Plus the smooth finish allows for shorter brake pad break-in process. Now Wagner designs their rotors to work with a variety of brake pads, but they work especially well with the Wagner Thermoquiet or SST premium disc pad, which are laser shaped to optimize interaction with that rotor. The materials in your brake pads have a lot to do with how well they stand up to heat and vibration. Now these brake pads have that new low copper ceramic, which provides up to 35% quieter braking, 15% better stopping power, and up to a 40% better brake fade resistance. Now both the Thermoquiet and the SST have premium shim materials right here. Now that's going to get rid of vibration and dissipate heat, making it a quieter and longer lasting brake pad with a lot less dust on your wheels. A plus for everybody. So they come in premium stainless hardware, everything you need, and it's application specific, so you have all the parts you need to replace your brake pads, and that's important when you're changing your brake pads. You'll get better performance with new hardware than if you, say, reuse your old parts. Now you can find Wagner's premium line of brakes and rotors at Federated Auto Parts.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by StarTron, enzyme fuel treatment for all engines.
Gang, welcome back to Two Guys Garage. She's a beauty, isn't she? All right, we're sitting there, LS3 on the floor, about to mate it up to our transmission, and you gotta like the fact that it's an all-inclusive package. I mean, really, you look at the wiring harness, gone are the days you buy a wiring kit and have to clip it and do the connections, and you have to hunt down brackets and little plastic covers and so forth.
Yeah, so we've got everything from Pace Performance. So engine, trans, right? Engine controller, harness. Look at that, it's got everything, your fuses and relays, your controller plugs right in, right? Everything from O2s and bungs, just in case you need them, transmission controller, throttle pedal, because this is drive-by-wire. I mean, all that little stuff, the nuts, bolts you're chasing around is all right here. So literally, you're spending your time bolting it together instead of hunting it down.
Yeah, and what a gift that is when you're doing something like this, an LS conversion.
Yeah, so it's gonna be simple. So we're ready to start putting a little bit of fluid in the converter. You know, obviously when you put it in, turn it and lock it in so it's fully engaged. We got the bolts here, so let's grab some fluid. This is going together right now and in there, and then we'll start dressing it out with all these goodies out here.
All right, fluid's right behind you.
All right, man, this thing is so close to finding home. I got Willie this morning. Oh yeah, okay, ready?
Good, yeah.
I'm gonna drop this one bolt through right about now. So I got one side, yeah. Okay, the other one, I think you can move that tail to your right, just a tad. And I'm gonna start lowering it down about another inch on the right, on your right.
Yep.
Okay. All right, she's looking pretty good. All right, man, well, check that out. We got header clearance. That's pretty awesome. We just got to get that trans mount back there. You can see we got our new cross member. Now that guy, again, was our kit from Hooker, which is awesome because, right, now we bolt it right in. There's no messing around. We got cutouts there for the exhaust.
Man.
I mean, this baby is coming together.
Dude, how about that? An LS3 and a G body already.
All right, well, I'll keep wrestling on this, dude. If you want to jump on that whole nasty looking fuel system on the back, we'll tag team and meet up in the middle somewhere.
Come here, I'll show you this. All right, let's be honest. Who would go through the trouble of taking one of these old G bodies, putting an LS3 swap in it, doing all the paint and body work, and leave this old rusty bucket right here in it? Let's be honest, you wouldn't. Especially if you have like gbodyparts.com, who have everything for all of these cars, whether it's the Regal, the GN, the Cutlass, whatever. From headliner, brackets, and braces, to suspension parts, to this gas tank. Now let's look at this gas tank, for example. Made from high-grade, rust-resistant steel. Now the baffles in here, and this little pipe end, are welded in. If you recall, the old baffles, right, that sit right in there, were plastic, and they were kind of adhered to the bottom of the tank. What would happen is they would break off and starve the pump. Not with this guy. Let's actually look at the pump. The pump is a big upgrade itself. Now this pump is going to handle the demands of a fuel-injected motor, LS3 in our case. All right, all of this is stainless steel. The wiring is upgraded as well. It used to pull about 10.5 volts. Well, now it's wired in straight to the alternator, showing about 13.5 volts. That increases the volume of the pump as well. So a place like gbodyparts.com, all of this is there with a click of a mouse. You get all of this. Now what we got to do is get all of this into this, all right? And that happens with one of these. So when we come back, hopefully this guy right in here.
This is the sack, strut, and spring assembly. It's a great choice for quickly and easily replacing your factory shocks to restore your vehicle's handling and control, plus increase your ride's comfort and safety. This assembly includes a premium OE technology strut, and it comes with all the high-quality factory-assembled components needed for your application. These kits are 100% test-installed and inspected to make sure they fit right the first try. And they're engineered for an easy install without needing any specialized tools. That's going to save you a lot of time and effort during the installation process. Plus, you don't have to worry about wasting time and money returning a part that doesn't fit or tracking down a missing component. Sachs has it all right here in one assembly. By now, you're probably familiar with Hot Shot Secret's Diesel Extreme and Stiction Eliminator. But what you may not know is how great they work together as two-sided cleaning for your oil and fuel systems. Stiction is not exclusively found in your diesel oil systems. It also is in your fuel system, along with dirt, water, and internal diesel injector deposits known as IDIDs. All those contaminants steal power from your diesel. Stiction Eliminator will remove 100% of the stiction from your oil system, and Diesel Extreme will remove the dirt and water and IDIDs. For best results, do a thorough two-sided cleaning to your oil and fuel systems. You'll notice smoother starts without bucking, chugging, or excessive smoking. Instead, you'll experience that familiar diesel surge of power uphill. This is Metal Rescue's Rust Remover Bath from Workshop Hero. This is a safe, easy way to restore rusted parts and tools. It's water-based and non-toxic, so it's safe on everything except rust. Just soak the parts in the bath, as you can see we're doing here. No other scrubbing or agitation is needed. Metal Rescue is attracted to the iron oxides, but it's safe on the metal surfaces you're treating, as well as on any rubber, plastic, vinyl moldings or gaskets. Because it's not hazardous, you can put your hands in it while you're working with the parts, which makes it easier to use. Metal Rescue is also biodegradable, so as long as you haven't introduced any grease, solvents, or gases to the bath, you can pour it down the drain or even in your yard. It beats dealing with harsh acids or sandblasting and saves you a lot of time. This is Fast Orange Hand Cleaner from Permatex. Now, anyone who spends a lot of time in the garage knows the faster you can get a job done, the better. And that even goes for cleaning up when you're done. This exclusive cleaning formula is designed to get rid of dirt and grime quickly and easily. It's made with microgel technology that adheres to your skin better to cut through the grease, paint, dirt, or whatever mess you've got without having to use a lot of product. Fast Orange is petroleum-free and contains skin conditioners to keep your hands from getting dry or cracked from frequently washing them. Plus, the natural orange scent means you can leave the fuel, paint, and grease stink back in the shop where it belongs. To make cleanup even easier, Fast Orange is now available in a rocker top bottle that you can open, close, and hold in one hand.
For more information about anything you've seen in today's show, check out mavtv.com or visit our website at twoguysgarage.com.
Now, many people would argue the muscle car war was actually started when Oldsmobile introduced the first overhead valve V8 in a relatively light body back in 1949. But when Pontiac brought out the GTO and the olds countered with the 442, that's when things got really interesting. The genesis for the name 442 came from the attributes of the original 1964 model: 4-barrel, 4 on the floor, and dual exhaust. But later editions didn't officially follow any adherence to those actual features. G-bodies like the old Cutlass, Buick Regal, Chevy Monte Carlo, and Pontiac Grand Prix were so popular it actually earned the title of most stolen vehicle during the 80s and 90s. Welcome back to Two Guys Garage, the moment we've all been waiting for. So either hold onto that coffee mug with 2 hands or just put it on the countertop.
That's right, because we're going to shake it up. Now we got our LS3 in here with transmission, right? And this is a connect and cruise from Pace Performance. So literally it's connected. We got a little battery over here, some grounds. Dude, this thing is ready to fire. And since you got the fuel system all hooked up, we got a little temporary hose over here. So technically,
yeah, man, we should be good to go.
Yeah.
You remember the years when you could never do this, when the wiring harness actually had to talk to the car. These standalone wiring harnesses make this a breeze.
yeah, we literally had to connect the fuel pump.
Yeah.
All right, so I got one more connector over here. I'm gonna lock these suckers down. We've
Okay.
been through everything.
Don't try this at home. He's
Yeah,
a
obviously we
trained
got
professional.
no radiator or anything, so it's just a quick fire to get us motivated, because you know we got to move past the easy part and onto the elbow grease section.
Right, drive-by wires, so I get to mess with the pedal a little bit.
All right, man. You feeling it?
Yeah, man, let's light her off.
Let's see what we got. Oh, I hear the pump.
All right.
Here she goes. Nice.
See, aren't you glad you put your coffee mug up?
Very cool. Well, hey, man, if you're a Monte Carlo fan, a Regal fan, right, these are all the same chassis, so
Yeah.
you can find the same kind of swap setup to make your ride way cooler.
Man, we just took the G-body from like a 5 all the way up to a 10 on a cool point level.
That's right, but we got a long way to go, so we're gonna wrap this up, get it all buckled down, start looking at some suspension, and again, that elbow grease thing. So
Yeah,
we're at time today, but we'll see you on the next one.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Two Guys Garage is brought to you in part by Federated Auto Parts. Best parts, best people, best service. Vehicle transportation provided by Pilot Transport. Auto hauling specialists. Professional POV cameras provided by Replay. Record, replay.